Welcome. This is the asana practice for Vāta type bloating. We are classifying this as foundational, meaning that it is generally appropriate for all levels. Keep in mind that anything can be poison and anything can be medicine, even movement. Not everything presented in this video may be appropriate for you specifically, so please follow what is right for you. You might enjoy having a strap, a bolster, and maybe an eye pillow for Shavasana. You may also enjoy having a blanket or two handy for this practice. This practice is meant to be fairly short and very simple, or at least fairly simple, to work with Vāta type bloating symptoms. Before we begin, I want to go over happy baby pose and a few variations that you might try. And once we get to that pose, then you can take any of these variations that you would like. Happy baby pose. We do reclining, and you might be able to grab your feet either outside or inside of the feet and then slowly work the feet so that they are somewhat parallel to the ceiling, and you might be able to draw the knees down into the chest. If this is unavailable to you, another option is to use your strap, or if you have multiple straps, that can be very handy too. You can make a loop with your strap and then place that loop around your feet and hold like this. Or if you have two straps or a scarf or a belt or something, then you can put one on each foot and hold here. You can also use the wall if that is more appropriate for you. You can come any distance away from the wall and then bring your feet as wide as it feels comfortable and then start to slide the heels down. You can have your feet flexed here, or you can have the soles of the feet on the wall, or you can just relax them, whatever feels good to you. So just some options when we get there. All right. To begin, find a comfortable seated position. You might choose to have your eyes open or closed. If the eyes are open, perhaps look at one spot on the floor and try to keep your eyes steady on that spot while you relax the muscles of the face and you begin to be a little bit more intentional about your breathing. Perhaps finding 3-part breath, or even simple awareness on the breath is enough. Perhaps the breath starts to slow down and soften. You can have the palms resting on the thighs or the knees, helping the body to feel more grounded. Trying to balance symptoms of Vāta in relation to bloating. It's not just about getting movement in the abdominal region. It is also about finding calmness and focus to steady the nervous system so that our body is more willing to function properly. When you're ready, you might choose to open your eyes or keep them closed. You can have the hands on the knees or bring them to the shins or anywhere that feels comfortable to you. On an inhalation, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Shoulder blades pull in and down on the back. Belly is slightly engaged. Lift the chest, coming into a seated cow pose. Nice and slow. And then on an exhalation, draw navel to spine. Start drawing the chin towards the chest. Perhaps the elbows start to reach forward and out. Perhaps the chin draws gently towards the chest. You can continue moving back and forth at whatever pace feels right to you. Do your best to move as slowly as you can in this moment, as slowly as you comfortably can. Finding just the right pace. Finding a smooth quality to your movement. Feel grounded through your sitting bones, your legs, strong in the belly. You can even stay and hold if that feels better to you. Maybe hold in each position for 5 breaths. Or if that feels too challenging in this moment, continue to move, holding for as long as it feels comfortable. And just focus on moving slowly and smoothly, maybe even closing the eyes, or even just letting the eyes follow a focal line as you move back and forth. Not getting distracted by things outside of this line, and keeping your gaze soft and steady. Whenever you feel ready, come back to center. Find a long spine. Bring your hands to the shoulders. You can lift the elbows as high as they are comfortably willing to go, and draw the shoulders down away from the ears. As you inhale, use the abdominals to twist to the left. Exhale, gently twist to the right. And you can move back and forth, nice and slow. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right. Same qualities apply here. Try to move slowly, softly, smoothly. Move in a steady fashion. And where your eyes go, the mind goes. Do your best to keep your eyes soft and steady. Maybe even the gaze is down. So a little bit different than before, where our line was up and down. Now your line might be a little semicircle, left and right. Same here. If you would like, you can stay and hold, maybe for 5 breaths or 7 breaths. And then hold on the other side for 5 or 7 breaths. Or if it feels like that is not right for you today, just continue moving back and forth as steadily and smoothly as you can. There's no right or wrong. There's just what's good or bad for you. It's almost a Pearl Jam song. Whenever you feel ready, come back to center. Slowly release the arms down. We're going to come forward into a squat. If you would like, you can have a blanket and you can have your heels on a blanket. If it's not possible for you to have your feet flat on the ground. The most important thing is that your physical body feels grounded. So sit on a block or even sit in a chair or have the blanket underneath your heels if they don't reach the floor so that the actual feet, the physical body feels solid and grounded. If you'd like, you can press the hands together, maybe press the elbows into the knees. Stay here for a moment, nice and steady. Squat is a pose I love to do and repeat and repeat and repeat. It is a very beneficial pose in many, many, many different ways. In this context, it helps us to feel grounded. It can help to release tension in the low back. We have a little pelvic compression. So it can be used to help the actual motility in the abdominal region to help move that gas and bloating out of the abdominals. But it also makes the body feel grounded and calm, which will affect Samanavayu, or a subdosha of Vāta, that helps us to feel steady. And it's sort of like the wind that stokes the fire of digestion. And when Samanavayu is balanced and happy, we digest better. When you feel ready, on an exhalation, you can slowly start to lift the hips, turn the feet forward, and fold forward. You can let the head and neck hang and relax. Feel the feet grounding solidly into the floor. You might let the shoulders relax, the arms can relax. You can rest the backs of the hands on the floor or clasp the elbows and let the arms hang. Maybe let the palms rest on the floor or on blocks. Try to relax the face. Let the eyes be steady, soft. When you're ready, lift up to a flat back, turn the toes out, and exhale back into your squat. You can press the palms in together again. And we'll take any version of twist that feels comfortable to you. One option is to press the right upper arm into the right knee at any height. So you can draw down a little bit, reaching the upper part of the arm or the shoulder down into the knee or the inner thigh, or it can be more towards the elbow, whatever feels good to you here. Maybe the hands stay in this prayer position and you just start to press the palms together and lift the chest a little bit here. If it feels good, you can start to open up through the palms so that now the palms are facing the chest. And then if it feels good, you can lift the left arm up to the sky. Maybe the right hand sits on the heart. You can bring your gaze now down to the floor, helping to find grounding in the body, the mind, helping to calm the nervous system. Find slow, steady breaths, and do your best to focus your mind. When you're ready, come back to center. You can take a moment or two here. You can come back to forward fold, or you can even sit or lie down if you need a little break. Find steadiness. Find a sense of calm. Soften your body. When you're ready, we'll twist to the other side. So finding the appropriate placement for the left arm. Starting to open up the chest, perhaps pressing the palms together, feeling the shoulder blades pull in and down on the back. Maybe the hands start to peel open. Maybe the right arm starts to lift. And then draw the gaze down to the floor. And breathe. Steady, smooth, soft, comfortable. This is not about finding the limits to your mobility. This is about finding a sense of gentleness, a sense of ease and softness, a sense of strength. And bringing blood flow into the abdominal region by compressing and then opening. When you're ready, bring your hands back to center. If it feels comfortable to you, you can take a moment or two here. If it feels better to you, you can come back into your forward fold. Or take any other position that feels good. Whenever you feel ready, you can come down onto your back. Move your props out of the way unless you will be using them. We're heading to Happy Baby. So you might want the wall, or you might want a strap, whatever feels good to you. Once you're down on your back, you can bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. Slowly draw the knees into the chest. If it feels good to you, just give yourself a moment to hug your knees into your chest. Maybe gently roll side to side or sway side to side. It does not have to be large movements. It can be just tiny little movements side to side. And then when you feel ready, we'll come into Happy Baby. So either using the strap, grabbing a hold of the feet, either the inside or the outsides of the feet. You can even grab a hold of your hamstrings if that feels best to you, or the shins or calves. Find what's best for you in this moment, and then slowly start to lift the feet so that the soles of the feet approach their way to being parallel to the ceiling or the sky. Perhaps the knees start to draw in towards the armpits. Maybe the shins start to reach behind you. The arms relax a little bit, shoulders relax, the belly relaxes. And if you need a little side-to-side movement here to start with, that's fine. Eventually, we're trying to find a little bit of stillness. Try to relax the head and neck, the jaw, the forehead, and find a smooth, steady breath. When you're ready, we're going to gently release the heels down. If you would like, you can hug both knees into the chest again for a moment. And then we'll hug just the right knee into the chest. The left foot can come to the floor with the knee bent, or you can lengthen your leg out long, whatever feels most comfortable to you today. You can also grab the hamstring if that feels better on your knee or on the hip. If you'd like, you can draw the knee in towards the armpit to start. And then maybe work your knee in towards center and find just the right spot. Our purposes today are not necessarily to find hip mobility, although that might be a side benefit to this pose, but we're trying to compress the right side of the abdomen. So wherever that feels just right for you, that's where we're aiming. There's no specific spot. It doesn't need to be knee as far in as you can or as far out as you can. It's really about finding what works with your bone structure to feel a slight and gentle compression on the right side of the abdomen. And we'll take a few breaths here. And you may not feel much compression here either, and that's okay. This will just start to help get things moving in the right direction. This will help that motility process, the movement process, the mechanical process. And we do want to start with the right side. So if you're doing this on your own without the video, just make sure you do the right knee in first. And you may need to be here for quite some time before you start to feel some release, or you might need to do this every day for a while. But whenever you feel ready, you can slowly start to release that leg. If you'd like, you can take a moment with both feet on the floor and just relax, knees bent, or you can lengthen your legs out if that feels better to you, and just take a moment to relax. And then whenever you feel ready, you can start by bringing the feet to the floor, bending the knees, and then drawing the left knee in towards the chest. Right leg can stay bent, or you can lengthen it out into whatever position feels comfortable. And again, this is not about trying to find some specific shape. So if this right leg is just flopping out to the side, that's absolutely fine. Relaxing the leg completely is great. And then just play with the left leg to start. Maybe it feels a little bit nicer to you to have the knee a little wide. Maybe it feels nicer to draw it in towards center. And there's no particular angle that the lower leg needs to be. Just let it fall where it naturally wants to fall. If you're doing this on your own, this can be a nice pose just to do stand alone if you're feeling quite bloated in the moment. And sometimes you might find that just doing the right side will provide you some relief. In terms of physical balancing of the body, it is nice to do both sides. But in terms of relieving that gas or bloating, you may choose in certain circumstances to only do the right side, or maybe to do it a little bit longer than the left. You can hold here for as long as it feels comfortable. Whenever you're ready, you can release the leg down. You can have the feet on the floor, knees bent, or if it feels better, lengthen them out for a moment. Then we're coming into a twist. If you like to have props for your twist, that's fine. You can have blanket handy or blocks or a bolster. And if you prefer not to use props, just push them out of the way. You can bring your arms out wide to the side to start. And you can draw your knees up above the hips if that feels like a comfortable place. On an exhalation, slowly start to drop the knees over to the right. So if you're using props, you might want something underneath the knees or between the knees, or you might want a prop like a blanket or something underneath your left shoulder. And take any comfortable position for the legs. I would suggest playing around a little bit with where you find the most relief in these twisting poses. You can draw your knees up a little bit higher, creating a little bit more compression in the abdominals. Or you might draw the knees down a little bit lower, a little further away, to create a little bit more space. You can bring the right hand to the left thigh to help anchor it down, to find a little bit more relaxation in the pose. You can turn your head any direction that feels comfortable. The left palm can be facing up or down. And try to take deep, full breaths in and out of the belly as best as you can. We're twisting and we're compressing. So those breaths may not be as full as if you were seated or lying down. But bring in the appropriate amount of air. When you feel ready, engage the abdominals and you can slowly start to bring the knees back to center. If it feels good, you might hug the knees to the chest or lengthen out or come back into happy baby for a moment. And then whenever you're ready, you can bring your arms out wide to the side again. And we'll bring the knees over to the left. Use props or not. That's completely up to you and what feels right in your body. Right palm can be up or down. Maybe the left hand comes to the right thigh, helping to anchor down. Find any comfortable position for the head and neck. Try to relax your face. Relax the legs. Allow the breath to be steady and smooth. It may seem unrelated or even too simplistic to think that having a smooth, steady breath can actually help us relieve bloating. But our nervous system, our minds, are very powerful. They have a very powerful effect on the physical body. Whenever you feel ready, come back to center. Take a moment or two to do anything that feels good for your body before heading to Shavasana. And then set up any kind of Shavasana that feels good to you. If it feels nice to have a bolster underneath the knees, go for it. If you'd like to cover up with a blanket, get as soft and cozy as you can. If you would like, you can bring your hands to the belly. You can use a sandbag over your belly. Whatever feels just right for you. And bringing a little heaviness, a little gentle compression to the belly. When you're ready, close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And if it doesn't, allow the eyes to remain open and let your gaze be steady on one spot on the ceiling. And during Shavasana, we'll use the So-Hum meditation. I am that. I am the divine is me. On your inhalation, say the word silently to yourself, so. And on the exhalation, hum. And keep repeating that mantra. So on the inhale, hum on the exhale. Keep your mind on those words. The so and the hum. The sounds that the breath is said to make. If you listen closely enough, you can hear on the inhale the breath making the sound so. And on the exhale, hum. I invite you to stay here for at least 5 minutes, 10 if you can, or for as long as it feels comfortable to you today. Thank you for being here with me today. Namaste.